Hey man, welcome to the Disciple Making Church podcast, and we're so glad you're joining us. My name's Ken Adams. I'm the director and founder of Impact Ministries, and also get to be the lead pastor at a place called Crossroads Church in Newnan, Georgia. And we're excited that you're joining us. This is a podcast that we do every month, try to help churches figure out how do we become disciple-making churches. That's something we've been working on for 36 years. We still haven't figured it out, but we're willing to share all the things that we're learning. And so that's what we're going to do today. I want you to hear a great testimony and just hear really kind of how what we're doing with disciple making is working in our church. And so you're going to want to share this podcast and like it, and also to just contact us, let us know how we can help you learn more about what it means to be disciple-making church, disciple-making pastor, and have disciple-making leaders. So all of that brings me to my guest this time, and this is Ethan Thompson. And Ethan, it's good to have you, man.
Hey, thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. So we have a theme this year for our annual Disciple Making Summit. And so if you joined us last time on our podcast, we talked about an event that we do every year. It's first of the year. And so we do this event called the Disciple Making Summit. And basically the summit is just a gathering of people from our church and other churches that all come together really just to fuel the fire for disciple making, right? And for helping to become movements of multiplying disciples. And so we do this event every year, and typically we have some sort of a theme for each year. And so this year, our theme is based on a passage or verse out of Acts chapter 4, verse 13, where it's talking about Peter and John and how they brought them in really to be persecuted and threatened to not, share Christ. And so it says that when they saw their boldness, is that they perceived that they were uneducated, common men, but they had been with Jesus. And so that's our theme for this year, is that we're talking about how God just uses uneducated, ordinary, common people to literally change the world. And so we're going to have a lot of different sessions and a lot of different time to talk about and unpack how God just works in people's lives. And the reason that I ask you to join me today is because in a lot of ways, God has used a summit in your life and to impact you, and you were part of it last year. Yes, so sir. Just start from wherever you want to and just tell us your story and, a little bit about your background and what the summit had to do with you, and then we'll go from there.
All right. Again, I appreciate for you having me on here. It's a big blessing. The summit had a huge impact on my life. It was kind of, I would say, a very big turning point in my kind of coming to faith and coming to Jesus. Before then, though, I grew up in California for 18 years. That was an interesting ride. The culture over there, everything is very different. I fell into a lot of just alcohol problems, partying, and bad stuff in high school. Just a lot of worldly relationships, things that were just leading me down a really dark path. Since I've been about 12, 13, I've struggled really bad with a lot of mental health stuff, anxiety, depression, and OCD. So it's all kind of accumulated to, I would say, 2024. I was in a pretty bad relationship and just kind of downward spiraling, drinking a lot. And I ended up having to have back surgery in December. And right before that, something had called me. I felt like I didn't really know what it was, but I just got this feeling to step out, leave that relationship, and see what was going to happen, honestly. And right around that time, I had a really low point. I was being like a lot of suicidal stuff, just struggling really, really bad. And I ended up going to young adults on this Thursday today. Actually, it's my 1 year of being a young adult. So
here at Crossroads Church.
Yes, sir. Yeah. And I got invited to go there by my aunt who attends here also. Okay. And my mom was the one to tell me to go, and she is not a Christian. She's working on it, but she was definitely at the time very, very far from God, I would say, and in her walk with Him. And so she had told me to go, and my mindset was, if you're telling me to go and I'm, contemplating these bad things, struggling, I'm going to try it out.
Yeah.
And I went, and it was life-changing. And that's where I met Ben Frazier. And then he invited me to this disciple making summit. And I was still on the fence about how I was feeling about my faith, very curious. I knew this newfound feeling I was having, this kind of hunger to learn more. And then when I went last year there was some speakers there that were just wise and amazing, and it was great. That was the first big church setting I had been in. And I'm a big music guy, so the worship obviously drew me in. Everything. I think Brandon Lake's dad was there, so that was really cool. I was like, hey,
his name's Mac Lake.
Mac Lake, yes, sir, yes. And that was cool to see. And then the Disciple Making Summit ended, and I felt this very spiritual high, but obviously it being one of my first experiences, I was unaware that those spiritual highs also drop very, very low. So as soon as I left that day, I knew that this was a Saturday. There was a Saturday night service. A couple of my friends that I had met there were going to go back, so I was planning on going back. And I had, on my way home after the summit, I felt this immense low, like lower than any even moment where I was struggling with like the alcohol or anything like that. And I just felt this push to like, yeah, you should, like, today is the day. Like, you need to, you shouldn't be here anymore. This God stuff, this Jesus they're talking about, this community, this, all this stuff that they're referencing in the Bible, it's not real. It's like, and that's what my brain was feeding me on that drive home. And then, so I stopped at a coffee shop and was just like feeling really, really depressed. And then on my way home, I was walking on the sidewalk, and I felt this moment of like, it's not that I heard an audible voice, but like in my soul, I felt this sense to just keep my head up. And it was very weird, and I just like started crying on the sidewalk. And then that night I went to the Saturday night service, and then that night is when I got saved and gave my life to Jesus. So, but it was prompted from the Disciple Making Summit.
Yeah, fantastic, man. That's awesome, man. So, that's so good to hear, man. And obviously, I had heard, parts of your story, but not to that detail. So that's really exciting and encouraging. And it's interesting because I think a lot of times when you're making comments about how I felt like something was saying, I felt like, so really that's the Holy Spirit speaking to you, right?
Yeah.
And the Holy Spirit really just working in your heart and your mind to lead you and to draw you to Christ, man. And that's what happened as a result of that. That's cool, man. So, so amazing how God would actually use it's funny when we plan the summit, we're thinking about church leaders and pastors and church members, and we're not necessarily thinking that it would be used as a evangelistic tool, right? But God's always connecting the dots, and He's so far ahead of us and knows what we don't know, and He knows who's going to be there. He knew who you were going to be there last year. He knows who's going to be there this year, man. And so, you never know how God's going to work, but
it's amazing either way.
It is really cool. Yeah. Well, so why don't you do this? So that was a year ago.
Yes,
right?
sir. Yeah.
So tell us kind of how's your faith journey been since the last year, and has discipleship had a part of that, and what's it been looking like, man?
The last year has just the growth that God has done in my life in the last year has, like, it's been insane. I never imagined a point where I would be feeling this fulfilled in my life just from like the place I was at before, always chasing something, always trying to fill voids, just family stuff, just bad stuff. And so this last year, I think with how impactful that kind of switch was when I got saved from the way I was living before to now, it's like I would be doing a disservice to that moment. And the people that were up, like giving their time up there to even talk, preach that stuff to me, and any person that pours into me after that, I would be doing a disservice to that, and especially to God and to Jesus if I wasn't every day trying to live the best I could for Him. So the last year I've definitely tried my absolute best to commit to just being in the Word, definitely plugging in with community, because that's one thing I lacked heavily before, was actual like positive community. And honestly, just seeking growth, being told when I'm wrong, being guided in ways that, even though if it's hard to hear sometimes, that's going to push me closer to Christ. Knowing that like being comfortable isn't always going to be like the key to results, being uncomfortable. So I would say over the last year, just really committing myself to that kind of mindset and trying to set up practical goals for connecting with God more.
Yeah, that's so good, Ethan, and I'm proud of you, man. You're doing really good and moving in the right direction, and that's fantastic, man. So I know we talked about this, but you've been a part of a what we call an impact group.
Yes, sir.
And so what's your experience with that been like?
It's been good. We've just finished book 1 a couple months ago. That was cool. It was an overview of everything, and it was very awesome getting more of a guided kind of look at things. Having somebody you're close with and you're growing in community with be your leader with something like that is very nice. It brings, brothers in Christ closer together. My roommate now actually is in my impact group.
Oh, good.
So it's very nice. We get to talk about that and then debrief when we get home and stuff. So all that stuff is very helpful, and I'm excited to just keep going and all that.
Fantastic, man. And hopefully, the goal one day is that you be leading somebody else through it, right?
Yes, sir.
So that's cool, man. Very good. So you plan on being at the summit again this year?
Yes, 100%. I'll be there. I got 4 tickets.
Oh, good, man.
I'm trying to invite my cousin, definitely my roommate. I'm trying to find one more that I feel should come. So
cool. Fantastic, man. Very good. Well, I just appreciate you coming on and sharing your story and
thank you.
Telling us how God's working in your life, man. That's really that really is what disciple making is all about. It's about how God takes ordinary people, sometimes, educated from the world standpoint, but not educated in our faith, right? And so he takes us and he transforms us. And, part of the way God does that is that he uses, different events. In your case, he used people in a small group and also through a church context. And he's using discipleship in your life. And so, it's always a challenge to learn and to grow and to deal with life's stuff, right? But it's putting yourself in those right environments that really helps you when it's hard, when it's hard to figure out, and when you're battling lots of, maybe emotional issues or things that you're like, man, I'm just, trying to figure this out, and why is it happening, and how's it happening? But that's great, man, and it seems like to me that you're on the right journey, and discipleship is a big part of that, right?
100%.
Yeah, very good.
Parts, definitely.
So another little thing, I didn't necessarily tell you we were going to talk about this, but another thing I just want people to know about is that, man, you write some cool music, don't you?
I appreciate that. I try my best.
So tell us a little bit about that, man. What is it that you do, and how do you do it, and how can people find? Because I've got I don't know if it's an album or playlist or what, but I've got some of your music, man, on my phone.
Is it the one with your intro in there?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I got the whole album, man. It's good stuff.
I had to have you starting that off, starting off right.
We want everybody to go find it, all right?
All right. So I make Christian rap, alternative, a little country in there. I'm very passionate about music. It's helped me a lot with all that emotional stuff I was talking about, and through those dark times. Make it out of my garage. So I'm hopefully one day I can be in a position where I can be in an actual studio and really commit to my craft. But I'm just so thankful that out of all the things that I felt like had to die when I committed my life to Christ, God reworked my passion for music.
Wow.
And now I want to use it to glorify Him, to push people to Jesus, and honestly as a way to express my emotions and just show people that like it's okay to feel this way. It's okay to feel the way you're feeling. And I wouldn't say my music's dark, but some of my stuff, I talk about the dark moments I had, because without those, I wouldn't be growing closer to God. So like I want people also in those dark moments to not just think everything's super perfect, and I want to reach a group of people that is struggling like I was, and because I know how much of an impact it can make. And then to find it, I'm on Apple Music and Spotify, pretty much any streaming platform. My artist's name is ENE, which stands for 89 Ethan. I don't know if you knew that. As Psalm 89 is written by Ethan the Ezrahite. He was King David's temple music leader.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah.
So again, what do they find it under?
ENE. Just the letter,
E-N-E.
capital E, capital N, capital E.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so they can go download it. Is it free?
Yep, all of it's free. I have an Instagram that has all the links in it as well. It's just 89 Ethan, all lowercase, and click it right there, and get to hear your great intro on that album.
It's pretty funny, man. Yeah, but that's cool, man, because you got it's funny. I hadn't told you this, but everybody that I let listen to it, they're always blown away, and they always go, "Wow, he's really good." And I was like, "Yeah, it's really good." So I hope a lot of people that are listening will go and check out your music, because it is literally, it's kind of a byproduct of what God has done in your life.
100%. I'm if it affects one person or however many people, I'm just always appreciative that anyone even took the time to listen to that.
Yeah, fantastic.
And I appreciate you for giving it a listen and stuff.
Absolutely.
And
yeah, very good, man. Well, thanks for coming on the podcast and sharing your story, man. That's really what we wanted to do today. And so I do want to just say that I hope you guys will come and be a part of the annual Disciple Making Summit here at Crossroads Church and Impact Ministries. And so if you want to know more about how to register, first of all, it's January the 30th and 31st. We're going to start at 2 o'clock on the afternoon of the 30th, and we'll have some couple of main sessions, and then we'll come back on Saturday, and we'll have some main sessions and be done in the afternoon. Our keynote speakers, we got a guy named Jim Halstead who will be here, a guy named Bill Hull will be here, and then a guy named Justin Gravitt will be here. And so they are all really major leaders in the disciple-making world, and have got lots of good things to share and to teach us. And so you're going to want to be here for that, but not only for those main sessions, but also for the breakout sessions. We're going to have lots of great opportunities, and you go to impactdisciples.com, you can get all the information. You can see all the breakouts that are going to be offered, all the main sessions. I'll tell you, it's going to be a great opportunity for you to come, to bring your team, to learn more about what disciple making looks like, and then there'll be some cool music as well, won't there, man?
Oh, there will be.
So it's going to be a great event. And so if you have any questions, you can email us at Impact. You can go to our website, impactdisciples.com. That's where you find out all the information about the Disciple Making Summit. And so we want to say again, thank you for joining us. Share this with other people. Like it if you don't mind. That helps get the word out to more people. And again, we are excited about what God is doing through Impact Ministries, and we can't wait to see you again next month, and we'll take another look at this disciple-making church concept. Thank you so much.